You were a kid once and summer lasted forever. June stretched out like a whole country. The afternoons were so long you got bored inside them. A single school year felt like an era, and the distance from one birthday to the next was almost too far to imagine. Now you blink and it's December again. The years have started to blur at the edges. Someone mentions something that feels recent, and you realize it was 5 years ago. The seasons seem to arrive faster, stay shorter, and slip away before you quite notice them. And somewhere in there, quietly, you've probably thought, where is all of it going? Here's what I want to show you. Time isn't actually speeding up, but the way your brain measures it really is changing quietly, mechanically, from the inside. And once you see how it works, you get something surprising back. A way to slow it down again. Back in 1877, a French philosopher named Paul Janet noticed something simple about how long a year feels. He suggested that we measure each new stretch of time against the whole of the life we've already lived. Think about what that means. When you're 10 years old, 1 year is a tenth of everything you've ever known. It's enormous. A huge, fresh slice of your entire existence. But when you're 50, that same year is only a 50th of your life. The calendar hasn't changed. The year is exactly as long as it always was. But measured against everything you've already lived, it's a much thinner slice, so it feels like it passes faster. The psychologist William James put it plainly: the length of a stretch of time seems proportional to the total length of the life behind it. Each year feels smaller because you have grown larger. That alone explains a lot. But it isn't the whole story, because it turns out the change isn't only in the math, it's in the machinery. In 2019, a physicist named Adrian Bejan published a paper with a lovely title, Why the Days Seem Shorter as We Get Older. His idea is that what we experience as time is really a sequence of mental images, the frames your brain captures from your senses, one after another. And when you're young, your brain captures those frames quickly. A child's eyes flick around constantly, taking in more pictures every second, laying down more detail. As you age, that processing slows. The nerves grow longer and more tangled. The signals travel farther. The images arrive fewer and slower. So in the very same minute, an older brain simply takes fewer mental snapshots than a young one does. Fewer frames in the same amount of real time. And to a brain that measures time by how many images it gathers, fewer frames feels like less time. The clock on the wall is steady. The camera inside you has just slowed down. Now here's the third piece, and it's the one you can actually do something about. The neuroscientist David Eagleman studies how the brain builds its sense of time. And one of his central findings is this: we judge how long a period lasted by how much we remember from it. When something is brand new, your brain works hard. It pays attention. It records in rich, thick detail because it doesn't yet know what will matter. And all that dense memory, looking back, feels like a long time. But when something is familiar, your brain relaxes. It stops recording the details because it has seen them 1,000 times. Your drive to work, the same rooms, the same Tuesday. Your brain quietly stops taking notes. And that is the hidden reason the years blur. Think about why childhood felt so long. It wasn't only the ratios or the frame rate, it's that almost everything was new. Your first day of school, your first real friend, the first time you saw the ocean. Each one carved deep, detailed grooves into memory, so that a single childhood summer can hold more remembered life than a whole adult year of routine. As we get older, we get efficient. We settle into the familiar. And familiarity, comfortable as it is nearly invisible to memory. A year in which nothing new happens leaves almost nothing behind. And a year that leaves nothing behind feels, looking back, as if it barely happened at all. So here's the reframe I want to leave you with. Time isn't stealing your years. Your life is simply becoming familiar. That speeding up you feel isn't a countdown ticking against you. It's the sound of your days running smoothly, on rails you've traveled many times before. That's not a flaw. It's what a settled, practiced life feels like from the inside. But if you want to feel time open back up, if you want your years to feel long and full again, you don't need more hours. You need more memory. And memory is made of new things. Here's what that looks like, gently. First, feed your brain something unfamiliar. Take the different road home. Sit in the other chair. Cook the meal you've never made. Novelty isn't a luxury. To your sense of time, it's the raw material. Even something small tells your brain, start recording again. Second, go toward first times on purpose. The trip you keep putting off. The skill you always meant to learn. The place you've never been. These aren't only experiences. They're where the thick, slow, memorable kind of time actually lives. The writer Claudia Hammond called it the holiday paradox. A week away can feel fast while you're inside it, yet feel enormous when you look back, precisely because it was packed with the new. Third, when something matters, truly be there for it. Attention is how the brain decides what to keep. A meal eaten while distracted disappears. The same meal, actually tasted, stays. Presence is how you turn ordinary minutes back into remembered ones. You can't slow the clock on the wall, but you can change how much life you fold into it. And that, in the end, is the only kind of time you ever really keep. So this week, do one small new thing on purpose and pay real attention while you do it. It won't just make the moment richer. Looking back, it will make your time feel a little longer because you finally gave your brain something worth remembering. New video every Friday. If this helped you see your own time a little differently, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.